European nations are under pressure to fulfill their climate promises. They vow to stop relying on fossil fuels and to improve their energy security. To this end, a huge green energy project is being planned by the UK and Netherlands in the North Sea. The deal was announced on Monday at an energy summit in Belgium. The power line, it's called the WION Link. It's a mega project that could provide power to 1.8 million homes in the United Kingdom. The line is being developed by energy company National Grid and Dutch electricity network TenneT. This move is not just an effort to switch to green energy, it is also to end Russia's dominance of energy market in Europe. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it disrupted gas and oil supplies to Europe, causing energy prices to skyrocket. Reacting to this deal, UK Energy Security Secretary Grant Shapps said, "We're bolstering our energy security and sending a strong signal to Putin's Russia that the days of his dominance over global power markets are well and truly over." The UK government has made legally binding commitments to become net zero by 2050. This means UK should stop adding warming greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. Environmentalists and experts have said that the UK's existing plans are insufficient. They say that it requires a huge shift away from fossil fuels like oil and gas, the greener sources of energy like wind and solar power. For more on this, we're now joined by Lauri Milivirta. He is the lead analyst at Center for Research in Energy and Clean Air, an independent research organization headquartered in Finland, and has worked for the past decade as an energy analyst covering climate, energy and air pollution issues across Asia. Welcome to the show and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, to begin with, how do you assess the efficacy of the WION Link? Do you think it can ensure European nations are able to reach their climate goals?
The North Sea is the most promising region for developing offshore wind power, which has a big part in Europe's clean energy plans because it's stable. You can build very large amounts of it, and so it provides crucial almost baseload power to clean up the electricity system. For the UK, the target is for the electricity system to be completely emission-free by 2035. So this line will come online in time to help with that target.
All right. Now, that being said, of course, Russia's invasion, as I mentioned earlier, has majorly impacted gas and oil supplies to European nations. Do you think there are effective frameworks and plans in place to end its dependence on Russia?
In the short term, the huge increase in fossil fuel prices, oil, coal, gas, has meant that there's been a major acceleration in some forms of clean energy investment, especially solar, electric vehicles, heat pumps, those very modular technologies that can be deployed very fast. For wind power, the challenge has been that the prices of wind turbines have also gone up, and of course demand has increased. So in the short term, there are bottlenecks, and now the really key thing is providing the clear frameworks and targets and plans so that the entire supply chain can be scaled up. And these kinds of large investments are a promising sign of that, and are helping pave the way forward.
All right. Now, the government has made legally binding commitments to become net zero by 2050. How do you see this pivot from fossil fuels impacting existing operations, and what are some of the likely obstacles that remain?
So for the UK, in order to be completely carbon-free net zero by 2050, the power sector has to be clean already by 2035. The UK has made very good progress. It's completely phased out coal in power generation, but still about 40% of the UK's electricity supply is coming from gas. And decarbonizing the other sectors of the economy, transportation, industry, relies heavily on replacing fossil fuels with electricity in those sectors, which means rising electricity generation. So all of that just means that we need very large amounts of clean energy online in the next 15 years. The UK government has struggled to articulate that 10-year plan for deploying sufficient amounts of clean energy, and a lot more of projects like this are needed. This project alone will deliver about 3% of UK's electricity demand.
All right, Mr. Miliverza, thank you so much for joining us on this podcast with your insights on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.